Welcome back to What Matters Most on Rogers TV, folks. We're here with Jeff White and Stuart White. Stuart, a very reluctant participant, but seems all smile, so I think he's going to be okay. We're going to talk a little bit about the Lancaster Lynx tournament coming up this weekend, which will be covered by Rogers. But first of all, what we'd like to get into a little bit is Jeff, your involvement with community sports, volunteerism. Tell us a little bit, first off, about your background in athletics.
I grew up with athletics was a big part of my whole schooling, right through from high school, grade school, high school, and then on to university. I was fortunate enough to play basketball at the university level. So I always combined sports and academics was part of my gig, and sort of kept me busy as a young kid and then a young adult, and I sort of kept that going. Once my playing days disappeared, I've replaced it with coaching. That's what I really like to do.
And Stuart, certainly a chip off the old block. I tease you a lot about the water volleyball, but you've got a lot of diversity in the sports you're involved with. List off a couple of your favorite sports other than obviously basketball.
Water polo, soccer. I like to play badminton a lot too at school.
And certainly with two older brothers, you've got a lot to keep up with in terms of sports and you keep busy in that family.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. And one of the things I do tease you a lot about it, with the water polo, how does someone get involved with a sport like that? I don't think there'd be a lot of people who would know how to go about starting that.
How would you? The Aquatic Center.
Yep.
Just you could ask about their program, go onto their website, get more information about it, sign up at the front desk, and it's open to everyone. Doesn't matter if you have experience playing the sport.
Right.
It's just if you want to play it, you can just come out and play.
And I think that for a sport that's as highly specialized as people think it would be, they would think you have to have a background in it, but certainly you can just jump in the pool and someone's going to show you what to do. And I know in your case, you play with people who are much older than you because there's probably a need for more participants.
Yes, as long as you kind of have somewhat of a background in swimming and you're able to keep treading water for quite a bit, then you'll be okay to play.
Excellent. Jeff, tell us where you first got involved with coaching. Like, where did the bug first bite you? I know you've got 3 boys at home. Your wife's very active in sports as well. But do you even remember when the first time you picked up a whistle was?
Yes, I do. You know what? The first active coaching was actually I was going to school at St. X playing for the X. When we came to St. John to play an exhibition game, this is 1989, and we played Husson College out at KV High. And the afternoon before that, we ran a clinic. And I vividly remember that was sort of the first formal time when we went from a player to a coach. And I came out of that session saying, you know what, I know I'm going to want to do this.
Right.
I want to get older. Because I enjoyed watching the kids, passing on some information and watching putting a smile on their face and watching them have the same kind of fun that I thought I know that it brought to me. So I said, you know what, I'm going to be involved in this for a long time. So that's, I don't know, a long time ago. 30-something years ago. So I was still playing at that time, but that's when a switch went off in my head and said, you know what, I know I'm going to coach, regardless.
And I know soccer, obviously basketball. Where does the list stop in terms of sports?
Coaching?
Yes.
I've coached lacrosse, basketball, soccer, hockey. I don't know. I think that's the core. I might have missed one along the way, but I've coached quite a bit of all that stuff. Pretty much wherever my I have 3 children, so I've always said it's part of my obligation to be involved helping that because I know there's people around the organizations. And so I always said, you know what, I'll step on the ice or step on the floor and figure this out if I don't know the sport and see if I can't make it a fun event. I also found it way more rewarding than sitting in the stands because obviously I can't sit still that long.
Right.
So rinks are not as cold on the ice. Mm-hmm. Gyms are less noisy on the bench.
Yep.
And you're kind of, if you're going to be engaged in the game or the sport, then you may as well jump in.
For sure. Now, Stuart, 2 older brothers. Obviously, probably a hard life growing up in that family. I've heard about the slow clap a couple times, so we're familiar with that. Tell us what it's like growing up in a family of athletes, and what are your favorite sports to play with your brothers?
Growing up in a family of athletes, you just got some big shoes to fill.
Yep.
I mean, you got to just play as much as they do in order to fill their shoes. But favorite sports that I would like to play with them is definitely basketball.
Yep.
All 3 of us share a passion for that, so it's fun to go down to the Y or the court in our backyard and just play some pickup or something like that.
And I know the family's been very involved with the Y since it opened. Tell us a little bit about your community involvement with the Y. I know you're a big supporter. The family spends a lot of time there.
So, it's in our neighborhood. That's the first thing about it. What I like about it is just the accessibility. There is children and adults in there doing whatever they want to do. And so instead of a very programmed, structured environment, kids or adults can go in and take part in whatever. If it's athletics they want to take part in, they can. If there's community programming, they can take part in it. So we've just sort of, and because we've always instilled in our kids being active as part of growing up, we'll often go down, as all 5 of us, and go down there and between playing badminton together or a couple of people playing hoops, a couple working out, someone's hitting the pool. For us, it's a great way to spend time. And you know what? You meet more and more people there, more and more families. It's a very family-oriented location.
Yeah, and I mean, I think that's one of the great things about you guys is to see you getting down there and getting out into the community. It's certainly a positive way to spend time as a family.
Sure.
Yep. Now, we've only got 4 minutes left to go.
Okay.
Everything goes by way too fast. We've got our common thread, of course, is the Lancaster
Sure.
Lynx and the basketball program. And coming up this weekend, Rogers TV is kind enough to come by and cover 4 of our basketball games for us. Talk to us a little bit about the tournament that's coming up.
So this is an exciting one. We have a boys and girls tournament, our bantam divisions. So that's grades 7 and 8, 12, 13-year-olds. We have 12 teams coming to town. We have, let's say, 22 games?
Yep.
22 games over a day and a half, let's say 2 days. So, and the other part is we're hosting it at the 2 high schools, Uptown High School. So we're bringing all those people into the Uptown. We'll highlight St. Malachy's, highlight St. John High. So we've got games going there 8 a.m. till 8 p.m. Saturday night, and then we move everything to St. Max for the finale Sunday. So again, that's another great community builder because having gone through that in other sports, there's families now repeating through there. And when those kids get to high school, then they have another group of people that they're going to meet when they go around to the various cities in the province. So it'll be an exciting day. It's a busy day. It needs lots of volunteers.
Yes.
So parents are going to be in the gym. You know, hosting a tournament is fun, but it's also tiring, and it's a commitment. But most parents do it with a big smile on their face and say, you know what, it's worth it to watch a child walk out with feeling like they had a great day there.
Speaking of which, Stu, you've got the tournament coming up this weekend.
Yeah.
You've had a healthy season this year for the first time in a while. You've stayed off the disabled list. Are you excited for the tournament?
Yeah,
and what are you most looking forward to?
I'm just looking forward to playing, get as much playing time as I can, and hopefully bringing home the W.
Tell us a little bit about your team this year. Are you having a good time with the group? And I know I'm your coach and I'm putting you on the spot, but tell us a little bit about the positive aspects of it.
We play well as a team, and I don't think there's any best player, any worst player. You know, we all have our flaws and we all have our strengths, and we just come together and play as a team.
Certainly the philosophy that Jeff being my big mentor here in the coaching world, we have developed a very good team philosophy amongst the group, and I think this year has been one of the better years for that.
When they're smiling, they're playing their best.
That's right.
It's quite obvious.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, talk to us, Stu. You've got the list in front of you about some of the teams that are coming in from out of town. It's one of the best parts about this is you get to meet kids from all over the province. So list off some of the teams we've got coming in for the fans to watch this weekend.
We've got Riverview, KV, a team from Salisbury, YCBC out of Fredericton, us Lancaster, and East St. John. So.
Yeah, and we talked about the boys and girls both being involved at the same time at the 2 gyms. So lots of socialization amongst the group as well. We've got just a little bit of time left, about a minute to go. With all the different coaches that you've met over the years, talk to us a little bit about the social interaction you see amongst the kids and amongst the coaches throughout the province.
Well, I think, you know, although it's a competitive environment, I think most of the coaches that I've had the pleasure to meet will say we rent the children for a season, and all those coaches are ultimately trying to help their kids achieve what the children want to do, what the players want to do. So whether that's meet 10 friends, become better at their left hand, their jump shot, whatever it is. And so when we take it from that approach, it just becomes one great big community. So from there, you know, it's a positive environment.
Thanks very much. We have to get out of here real quick. Lots to talk about. We're here with Stuart White and Jeff White of the Lancaster Lynx. Thanks very much. You've been watching What Matters Most, only on Rogers TV.